Hello and welcome to Aspera. Per Aspera. I'm gonna just start launching and talk to you about it while we're loading in, but I just wanted you to see the opening title screen and see, average resources. We're playing on realistic mode with the built-in DLCs on. This is a game about terraforming Mars. You guys may have heard of this idea or project, except it's a bit of a real-time strategy management game. I've played this story before. It's very much the campaign, rather. It's a story, it's narrative. You go through this stuff, and you're basically an AI set to terraform the planet. Really cool story, actually. I really like what's going on with it. But yeah, so basically that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna be on Mars. Whoo, baby! It's crazy to see it. You can see, actually, I wonder if you can see. Like, you can see the solar systems and stuff around. I just was wondering if I'm like, can I see like Earth or anything like that? Or like, because I wanted to position it so that like Ganymede station would be over here or whatever. Anyway, it would be funny. So here you are. This is Mars. This right here, Valley Marineris, Lake Marineris. Look at this huge cavity in here. Oh, baby. We have this giant ocean. Right, and then this here, Hellas, is the back of the board. This area down here and the polar is actually what's happening in the Terraforming Mars board number 2. Look at that. This is the ocean tiles along the left side, the big oceans that are in an 8-tile grid, and the icy part at the bottom. And then this part here is a bunch of plants and stuff. I'm just going through this before getting started because I'm super stoked for this stuff. This here shows you the mountains, right? So this is the baseboard. The mountains, there's a crater down here where you can put an ocean to get titanium. Some oceans up here in the corner that make a little ring. And then Lake Marineris itself. And then you have the mountains coming up along the left side. Very cool. And then Elysium is... Where is it? Oh, it's with... this right here, right? Olympus Mons, you see it? So Olympus Mons is here, and I think the idea of it is that, oh god, I forget exactly how it goes. Oh, we're actually in the game quite a bit. Oopsies. But yeah, Olympus goes in the top right, or is it Elysium 4? I forget exactly, but basically this is the map you get, which is like all water in the top right with a mountain here and some stuff there. But it's not, this one's a little bit less to scale based on the board. Anyways, that was like 3 minutes of me babbling about the board. I think because we played so much solo Terraforming Mars, our landing site in this game has to be around Lake Marineris. And look at this. This is why it's like Noctis City is into all of this crazy kind of wild terrain. We'll go ahead and settle. You know what? Let's settle by these mountains over here. Kind of, this is generally where I start the game, and then we move over here because there's some good plants and adjacencies. Though in this nook is hilarious. We really want to have some ability to spread out. So here we go. This is our first landing site. Boom. We've built our landing site on Mars, and now what we need to do is build. Basically, we need to start with some mines, and that's so that we can get started on our factories. Basically, we want to become self-sustaining by getting all the way up to a worker factory, and to do that, we need all of these factories, except for food, because that's when you have people coming in. So to get a glass kiln, for instance, we need like steel and aluminum. To get steel, we need aluminum and iron, and it's a whole thing. So let's go ahead and get started with, this is an ice vein. This is silicon. So we know we need silicon. We know we need iron. And we know that we need... I thought that would automatically create a network, but it did not. We need a worker hub to create a network of roads. Oh, it's because I haven't put us back on 1 speed. So that'll automatically create roads, and now our worker is using the resources from our landing site and going out and creating some of these structures for us, which is great. The worker hub here is not really required, but it is a place that our rover can go to recharge its battery as opposed to the main hub. It is nice to have these in your network, though I probably didn't have to build it first. We're going to be fine. So we have silicon here, iron here, and this is aluminum, another important resource. And we'll actually put this on ×4. As it's the start of the game, it's pretty simple. We're just building up. I'm going to go ahead and not move that. Move my camera here. So bootstrapping Mars. So Mars is cold. Everybody knows it's the start of the game. We got to heat the planet. So the very first thing we're doing is setting up our economy, getting our metal started. We definitely want carbon as well. And once we have all these mines set up, what these mining facilities are going to do is slowly extract resources, and our rover bot is going to bring them back to base, kind of thing, as we go. Power is very important, and I can't believe I missed that. But right now, our grid is getting 20 from the solar farm on our landing pod, and we're at 13 overall, so that's great. Colonies, we are not ready for colonies, though research outposts are really, really great. But yeah, these need ice and food. Ice obviously meaning water. And anyway, so yeah, as these mines get built, they're going to start putting things together. We are going to want a steel factory. Needs what exactly? Steel factory. So over here I was able to, there we go. Yes, the food factory needs all that stuff. We're going to need to work our way up to parts factory, but this needs iron and aluminum. And it consumes carbon and iron, which is a little annoying because our carbon is far away from our iron. But we are going to put our factories a little bit central just so there's a little bit less movement in the network. Is our rover charging? Yep. So here he is, recharging after all of his heavy work. And now, then he exited the top of the building, so he kind of glitched away. Look at that, minus 57, no pressure or atmosphere. It is awful out. And we are very high altitude around these mountains, which is a lot of fun. What's this? Chemicals. Okay, for the chemical plant. So that will be important. But first, I would like to get the steel factory working. You can see here it tells me that this and this is an input. So, you know what? We'll just have it at least close to our carbon. And the roads will automatically kind of draw themselves. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, some of these paths are less efficient than others. But it can start to look like right now it's kind of like a spider's web all going around. But it's really cool when you're actually going along the contours of mountains and stuff. At least I think it's cool. So I don't think I've screwed this up. We still have plenty of resources. And once we have the iron started, like for instance, we didn't really need the silicon early. This bad boy is still charging, trying to stay going. He can charge here, but he is choosing not to. So carbon mine, and then that's going to make the steel factory. The steel factory is going to consume those things. This bad boy is making aluminum. And like I said, we're trying right now to get self-sustaining because our rover's eventually going to break down and fail. So before it fails, we need to get it we need to get this going, basically. And to get this going, we need glass, parts, and electronics. So electronics is also on the list, and then glass is also on the list. So electronics are up by my aluminum. It has two similar inputs. I'll just put it side by side. We are low on energy, so we are going to need another energy thing. Right now, I really want to go towards Noctis, because I think that's fun for us. But for now, I'm going to start by getting us to go west, because I saw that chemical plant. So when you do a starting drop, usually it auto scans kind of for you, as if you would have dropped on a location with all these resources. So I think you're more or less guaranteed to get what you want. Let's take this one and make it high priority, because it is high priority. You can see here our energy deficit as our needs are increasing, especially with those factories. And these have input. See, this one here needs silicon and aluminum for electronics, and this needs carbon and I need to get my things right. The brown one. Okay, that is iron. Okay. Oh yeah, the steel factory needs iron. Yes, of course. So, anyways, and then these raw extractors, the mines, they have an input. So here we have tons of aluminum that we can pull from, and we're gonna get these irons started soon. We just need, oh, there's no glass at all. Okay, what are you doing, bud? You're just gathering resources? All right, so to get this power up and running, we actually need the glass kiln much sooner than I anticipated. We are just going to put it next door. We're going to make this one high priority, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn off these power plants, because that gets us to not a power plant, but a factory. How much do you consume? I don't think you consume much. Apparently 2. And I bet you I can see that here. Core worker hub consumes 2. And 2, for instance, is megawatts. Megawatts of power. That's quite... As a person who works with a lot of electricity in my line of work, I think that is wild. So the glass kiln is high priority to have this functioning, because we need glass, and that is going to be high priority to build the actual solar farm. So right now we're going good. We'll go up to 8 speed. We're kind of just chilling here. Year 1. We got a late start to the year. I don't know if it was several months in or just a couple of souls in, but it's fine. These are turned off. That's fine. The iron is fine. I don't really like that our things are flickering right now. I'm going to turn another mine off just to stabilize us here. And another glass is on the way. And you can see right now we only have 1 drone. And it takes so much infrastructure just to have the ability to be self-sustaining from a resource and power standpoint, let alone to get that actual drone production so that we can replace our drones and get drones built. So this is all just the mechanical getting started, seeding this massive planet. Oh my god, is it ever big? Don't get motion sickness as I come around. With all the things that it needs, right? And here's the regolith, right? We want to eat this regolith, right? Ooh, baby, look at that. It's so cool. It's just so cool. So we're moving ahead. We're really working hard here. We got our power on, so now we can... On we go. On we go. On we go. On we go. So, I don't think that I need chemicals, do I? Where do I need chemicals, right? So you're going to make electronics. You're going to make iron or steel. And this is all mechanical inputs. We'll put this one here. It sucks that the glass has to come so far, but this is going to be a priority. This is going to be a priority. The glass kiln is also a priority because that is our bottleneck right now. You can see this bad boy needs glass. This bad boy needs parts. And the pieces themselves are going to need parts. So we could build more mines, silicon, carbon, what have you, but we don't really have a need for that right now. We do have plenty of power. So if I hit power, this says 39 megawatts. Okay, so that's quite a bit. Now that's during the day. Is there a nighttime? No, I think it's just generalized. So I can see my traffic view. This is a really busy road. The power view, which is what we were just looking at. Maintenance, that's going to be a problem here soon. So we're not even self-sufficient. We need scanners to prospect for more resources. Apparently, we think that there's a ton down here in Noctis and a ton to the south. Oh, sorry, that's just for silicon specifically. Ooh, we could come up here. So where oceans go, you can build, but you're at risk as the water level rises, of course. And right now, the temperature is Arctic, and then we're along the equator. It's quite cold here up in high altitude, but it's actually nice and warm in the valley. Warm being relative, of course. Dark green still being in the probably minus 20s. Temperature, what else? Biomes? Oh, there isn't really a biome yet, so really we're just in a high altitude dry biome probably. And humidity, look at this. Like, look at the environmental simulation happening under the hood right now. And then there's a whole bunch of prospective sites, and those are all filled with, like, kind of goodies of, like, previous expeditions, drones, and whatnot. So let's go ahead and turn this off and go back to our colony. Oh, God. Please. There we go. And oh, wow, you can actually see our productions down here. So this bad boy still needs parts. Oh, we don't have a parts factory? I feel like a dummy. Do I really not have a parts factory? Wow. So this is a good spot for it. It takes these two inputs and they go there. Here I was talking about the glass being so important and all the other stuff, but no. We'll go fast again. So this needs a lot. It still does need a lot of these components, which means that these really should have higher input. You can see here that we're waiting for more iron. So let's speed up. And once we have the ability to build more drones, we can actually distribute them in a way that makes our economy work, you know, for building out this core production facility, bringing in resources, more efficient modes of transportation, expanding the power grid, exploring sites. Right here, there really aren't that many, you know, points of interest. See these little eyes? There's tons of them along this shelf, apparently. And then some going off into the north. So we will want to go check out those curiosities, but I also really want to get into... Ooh, I just saw this impact. You see that? You see that? You see that? What if that happened to us? Oh my god. This is 20 souls away from hitting. Let's watch it. We really are letting our economy just slowly build up. 5, 4, 3. Okay, let's slow it down a little bit. Imminent impact. Is it going to make a crater? That's my question. I don't think it actually did. I think that little crater was there. I don't know. I don't think it did. But what if it did? Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, so now this is up and running, and it's got output. So that means that we're actually at 2 bots now. Oh, but we don't have enough power to charge the bot. All right, let's get that solar farm up and running. This is now high priority. I will always have the bot production facility on a high priority because it's needed. And then a worker hub, producing this is actually going to allow us to have more workers, right? So that's the big piece. Now, I'm pretty sure that we can also click on our... Ooh, there's a way to look at the distribution of our drones. So we do need a maintenance facility as well. Now, what does a maintenance facility need? It needs these polymers. And to get a polymer, we need a polymer factory. And to get polymer factory, we need this chemical. And I can just build it by clicking on it like this. So I'm probably going to do that here in a second. But first, we need this power grid up. Here comes the glass. And then this drone will be able to recharge, because we'll have enough power to feed everything. I could have turned stuff off, but I just wanted to show how much our economy is going to improve by this inclusion. Here it comes. Here it comes. And now you're charged up and ready to go. And now I have 2 worker drones moving away. They're going to build this worker hub, which is great. And then as soon as that's done, that means that our network can hold another worker drone. And then we're going to scale out of control here. Though, again, we need that maintenance, because now I have no doubt if we look at our maintenance, our facilities are starting to get used up and break down. These dots will fill up. It doesn't look bad now, but once it starts getting away from you, you have quite the it's just an awful deficit. Trust me, you don't want it. Let's get this process kind of done up here. Chemical plant is started, and then this is now producing. We're at 2 of 3, so we're waiting for it to produce. It's going to take a while. But once it's produced, we want it to start production on the next one right away. And I'm just putting these worker drones these worker hubs around here to create like a dense ring around my industrial center, because I know that'll help us later, because we really want high drone density later on. Now, I'm pretty sure 0 maintenance, 0 scanners. That's the next thing that we need, is a scanner. It consumes a lot of power. So we need the polymer factory to get the robots that repair stuff. Polymer factory needs this carbon, and it needs this chemical. We can just put it in between for now. And then what? I know there's a way of doing a map mode for you. I just need to figure out what it is. Knowledge base? Sorry, I don't want that. Maybe I click on a drone? Come here, come here, come here. I don't know. I do want to get started on this worker hub though. No, wait, we already did. Okay, so that's being built. So we're going to be always trying to stay ahead on worker hubs, so that whenever our production facility is ready to build the next one, it's going to get started. The polymer factory's on the way. This boy's on the way. Structures. Our structure limit's 50 right now. Don't have tons of efficiency with it either. I can look at all these production graphs. Look at this. Look at this. I like that as demand, potential demand, all this stuff, right? Because we have so much that we can do. We just need to get our production to match that. Because right now we have a drone limitation, but we have all the facilities in place that I really care about the most, other than our maintenance. So the polymer factory, looking at my power, we got plenty of power. So it's really just going to be maintenance. This takes 20 power on its own. And it takes carbon and polymers. Okay, so let's go ahead and build another power facility. And this time, let's build out the energy network far to the south. Because that way we're expanding our network and we're expanding what can be electrified. As we're burning things, we're up in the temperature from adding CO2 and O2. I think that most of this contribution was already there. I don't think we've actually meaningfully contributed to the CO2, but you know, it's coming. It's coming. We're definitely making a trivial amount. But it adds up over the course. We're only like 2 years in. And remember, Terraforming Mars is a game played in generations. So maybe I should keep it rolling. But yeah, so once this is finished, and it looks like it's close, we are going to be looking to... Is there any more dust storms? I wish I had zoomed in on it earlier when I saw one. Once that's finished, we're going to get started on the maintenance facility, and then we're self-sustaining, and we're growing. And the only thing I need to worry about, not even worry is a little extreme of a word. is basically getting scanning and getting going on moving the needle for this bad boy, the scanner. So then we can go find more resources, because right now, obviously, if we run out of any given material, that's going to be a problem. But there's hundreds of materials. That's not an infinite amount. Like, you need tens of thousands to sustain you, but hundreds will get us through this early game for sure. Bootstrapping. Create a runaway effect, stimulating the CO2 deposits at the poles and raising temperature to -50. Yeah, so really, we got to get rid of all of this CO2. It's not ice, it's CO2 that's frozen. And then same thing at the bottom. Not as much down here. But I think it literally changes based on the month. Like, one congeals more than the other, back and forth. Loving it, loving it. So we're up to 4 bots now. And put one more in this core area for now. Why do you have no power? Because you're not done being built. And why are you not done being built? Because you're taking all of the aluminum? Maybe we undo your priority here for a second. And I'm pretty sure there are ways to, like, halfway house resources so they don't get carried by one unit all the way. But that comes with, like, science and stuff, which we are not started on at all. See, we need this spot. I really want this scanner. So now that the solar farm is up and we're building another one of these, let's get the scanner going. They're really good at scanning things that they're very close to. So if I could get it in this spot, it's going to scan faster for more tiles. And then I think we're going to want another one. So I want to go Noctis because that's fun. So let's go Noctis kind of north and south, because we got to get those ocean adjacency bonuses. Hell yeah. It will scan outside of that area for sure. It's just faster and faster the closer the thing is. So that's very good. I know. How do you look at it? I know that there's like a traffic. Oh, there it is. In traffic. So see how in traffic now, all of these zones are being divided up by my drones as what is their responsibility to manipulate and work in, which I think is crazy good and cool. So you can see that, like, we actually have a lot of extra capacity down here, but as more drones are built, one will take this spot and maybe like carve out some of these responsibilities for itself, right? And this one's working really hard, like has high uptime, because we have an active construction happening, right? So it has to do this whole length of road. Whereas this one here does have a construction going, but it isn't trying to manage anything, right? It's waiting for more resources to become available, and it's helping when it has complete downtime. So it's just interesting that, like, this is generally how it's breaking down. I don't need to look at you anymore. 4 out of 6. Imminent worker depletion. See, this is what I'm talking about. One of them is finally kicking the bucket. And I never built my maintenance facility, did I? So you can already see that some things are starting to get a little bit more damaged. This is probably going to be my most western maintenance facility for a while as we kind of grow outwardly. So this is going to be pretty important to get on. So see how these dots, okay, I thought they changed color, but you can see that they're actually just losing pips. And we don't want to make it so that everything's at half destruction, because then we'll need multiple maintenance facilities just to get things back up and running, because we'll be overwhelmed with trying to create, like, basically repair kits. So let's go ahead, max speed. take a quick peek. And trust me, this world gets so beautiful as the terraforming occurs. It's just crazy cool. We're on super, super high speed now, so everything's kind of just flying. But I'm loving it. Like, we're just like, it's kind of funny because we're just kind of like a cancer on this planet. We are going to grow and grow and grow from this central point. Every now and then we'll end up creating a distant node that's kind of like a secondary base where we're going to produce and manufacture supplies closer to where we need them. I like the idea of working towards these like continental shelves and along the mountains down in the south. It's not the most rich territory as far as this game is, but it's rich for us. Noctis as a you know, place close to home for us. This territory, I don't even think you can get through it, but there are ways of building like underground tunnels and like kind of rail networks and stuff. So like we're gonna be able to traverse these gaps later. It's just early on, it's gonna be difficult to ferry resources completely around. We're plus 40. Why are you worried? Cause I don't know. Imminent worker deletion has been happening forever. You need to be on high priority. I lost in the sauce there. So we're low on carbon. I don't mind hooking up this other carbon mine. And this needs to be producing. It definitely was missing a resource just now, so that was a mistake that I forgot to turn it off priority. Or I turned it off priority and forgot to turn it back on. And these scanners took a lot out of us. Let's see if I click the scanner, or what's the best scanner? There it is. So you can see we haven't found anything yet, but we are going plop, 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 looking for resource deposits. And like, once you've completely scanned most of an area, it's definitely better to deconstruct and construct new ones, but you can always have some just in your central base doing really, really distant scans. They're just going to be really slow. So you're never penalized for having them, but like, I actually really like this view too, because you can see that number, right? This is the amount of aluminum, for instance, that we have here. So we definitely are looking for more aluminum, and we know that generally the closest aluminum for us is like way, way away. So we are going to be looking for aluminum like crazy. But anyways, I think that this is like a healthy video length for most people. I hope you enjoyed and weren't too bored by me scoping around the planet and showing off where the board game happens. I'm going to keep playing this because I'm having a good time, and whenever I play games, I just like to record and share. So if it does poorly on the channel, sometimes there's a bad byproduct, and then it drags my other videos down too. It stops showing people as much. So if you did like this and you did enjoy it, I strongly, support saying, like, throw it a like, throw it a whatever, and we'll see. Like, it's just a chill game, trying to get through Terraform. We're going to finally find some of these curiosities, abandoned electronics in a building, what is this, Maylander? Magellan Lander, some different deposits, like all kind. This world, if you have the story, gives such a rich backstory to all the expeditions that have happened on Mars so far, so it's fun to go dig those up. And honestly, just seeing the world change and flood with water and all the crazy space projects, those space events, we're going to get to do them. So if you've liked any of this, if you want to see more of it, please, just show some love. At least tell me in the comments that you liked it, or think, no, board game or ride or die. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.